Oh yeah. So I'm making this video because I'm having a very hard time figuring out what Pro controller I want for my PlayStation 4. Now everybody knows what kind there are. You got the Razer Raiju. Got that Nacon Evolution controller, or whatever it is, or I think I'm pronouncing that right or saying it right. Then you got like SCUF controllers that have been around forever. And then you got Battle Weaver, which is pretty much like a SCUF. And then I think there's some other custom controller, you know, where they just take the controller you have and customize it. So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I want to do, because every controller I look up on YouTube, there's a lot of people saying good things about it. Even the SCUF, you know, people are like, oh, I love the new SCUF, you know. And I have particularly had my eye on the SCUF or the Razer Raiju. I don't like the whole Nacon one where, you know, thumbsticks are different and stuff like that. I don't like that. I like the symmetrical joysticks. But then I'm like, alright, well, I think I want the Razer Raiju. And then I look up more details about it, because I'm like that. I go on YouTube and I watch videos for hours on a product that I'm going to buy, because that's basically why YouTube is there, so people can do reviews on products and stuff like that. Well, then I see all these videos of people like fucking, like their controller is breaking. And this is with every Pro controller. Every Pro controller is breaking. The Razer Raiju, the triggers on the back, apparently they get like stuck sometimes, and the joysticks on that particular controller aren't that great. And then you got the Nacon Evolution or Revolution, whatever. You know, you have to plug it up to a computer almost every couple months to do firmware updates and stuff like that, and it's like, it's so stupid. Why do you gotta plug it up to a computer? Which is pretty cool because you can adjust everything, but that's just too much for me. It's like, I'd be scared I'd adjust something wrong and the whole controller just starts acting funny, you know? So that brings me back to the SCUF. Okay, I went on their website and created a SCUF Impact. My mind was blown away when I figured out that my controller was going to be around $190 plus $200, or $190 and up with shipping and all that stuff. I mean, that's $190 for a PlayStation 4 controller? Jesus effing Christ. Like, God bless. That's like buying, you know, the PlayStation, right? It's like buying a PlayStation Pro and them saying, hey, you want the boost mode, which only comes on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Hey, you want boost mode? Alright, we'll sell you a boost mode chip for almost $200. Well, that would be worth it, so that's not really a good comparison. But still, $190 for a damn controller. And even the other ones, I think that the cheapest one you can buy is that Nacon controller, and it's like $90 or $110 or something like that. But the Razer Raiju is up there. It's like, you know, $150, $160 or somewhere around there. And the thing that has me irritated the most is that PlayStation hasn't released their own Pro controller, okay? How many videos do you see on YouTube about the Xbox One Elite controller, which does the same thing as every other Pro controller does? You don't have any problems with people saying, oh, it's broke, it's broke, it's broke. It's because Microsoft made it, so it's a good product. So why can't PlayStation make a Pro controller? You know, like, there's a bunch of, you know, big games coming out soon. Wouldn't that be smart? You know, the holidays are right around the corner. Hey, I know there's a lot of Pro controllers on the market right now, but how about let's make our own Sony approved, Sony made PlayStation 4 controller, Pro controller, Elite controller. That makes the most sense to me. I mean, why can't they just make it and it be like flawless, you know, like all their other products, and even Microsoft products, they're pretty flawless too. Because when they make these things, they make them quality built, not cheaply built, which is what you're getting with all the other controllers. So back to the SCUF controller. Like I said, I made it. It was like $190, and then I go on YouTube and I'm like, all right, this controller is pretty badass. I got, you know, grips on it, 2 triggers. I don't need 4, you know, just 2 triggers. I got the the trigger stoppers, and all that good stuff. And you know, it's all decked out. It's got some cool colors on it. Badass controller for $190 fucking dollars. A badass controller. I just can't see myself spending $190 on a PlayStation controller when you can go and buy a brand new DualShock 4, which is a great controller. You can go and buy that for around, you know, $50 to $60, depending on what version of the controller you get. If you get just the black one, you know, it's gonna be like $50. But if you want like a red one or a blue one or gold one, or, you know, World War III edition or World War II edition, whatever, you know, it's gonna be a little more expensive. And that's the thing I'm having a hard time with, is because the DualShock 4 is a fantastic controller. It feels nice in your hands. There's a speaker on it. It's very next gen. Nothing that Xbox did. Xbox didn't put a little speaker on their controller. And like when you're, you know, playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, it's cool because, you know, when you're going through the menu, you can hear like the little ching, ching, like the noises in the controller. I think that's badass. I love the DualShock controller. And I've also thought about, instead of buying a Pro controller, making mine into a Pro controller by buying that FPS Dominator pack thing that goes on the back with the triggers. Okay, that eliminates the triggers, so I can have those for like $40, right? But the thing I like about the Pro controllers is they have trigger stops to where, you know, you don't have to press the trigger down all the way. Well, a lot of games don't register that because the controllers, I guess, aren't designed to do that. But these Pro controllers are designed to do that, and they don't work all the time. So I thought about getting, you know, these little plastic things that go over the top of your existing DualShock controller, to make it to where it's a trigger stop. I thought about doing that too, but I still haven't made up my mind if I want to like deck out a... Because see, here's the thing, okay. A normal DualShock controller is $60, okay? So you got $60. Let's go ahead and write this out. $60 for a normal controller. Okay, that doesn't come with a cable or nothing like that. That's just the controller. $60, right? $40 for the FPS Dominator pack. Okay, and I don't know how much those trigger stopper things are. I think they just click on the existing triggers. So let's just say they're $6. Okay, and I also want to get some Control Freaks. That's another $3. So you're looking at $109. $109 for your homemade Pro controller. Now, again, it's not all decked out. It's got cool designs and a really awesome grip on the back or nothing like that. You know, it's just standard PS4 controller. But $109 to me is a lot better than spending $190. I mean, I don't know. I just think that spending that much money, you know, the scuffs, those things look badass. They look cool as hell. However, they're not made great. You go on YouTube and look up people, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that bash all these controllers, that say they broke, you know, they don't work worth a shit, da-da-da-da. So I'm like trying to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do, because I want a Pro controller before Call of Duty World War II comes out. I want it now. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So if you guys could help, you know, if you have had any of these Pro controllers and you haven't had problems with them because you don't abuse stuff. I know a lot of people who like press the fuck out of the buttons. They're very rugged with it, you know, throw it around, get mad, throw it at the ground, you know, whatever. Somebody's not going to say, hey guys, I bought this Razer Raiju, man, and I straight up threw it to the ground and it broke, so I'm pretty disappointed, you know. I didn't expect it to break. It's, you know, it's like, what do you expect? I mean, you're throwing it on the ground. Now, I haven't heard of that on YouTube. Most people are just saying they play games and the buttons stop working and all that. But you know how people are. People, I'm not going to say most, but a lot of people get things bought for them throughout life and they don't have to pay for anything. And those kind of people are usually pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty, well, I mean, they just don't take care of things because they get things bought for them all the time. So it's like, oh, if I break it, I'll get another one bought for me, you know. So that's the big thing, is because if it breaks, I'm not spending a whole lot of fucking money to get another one. I'm not going to buy another one if I bought one and it broke. So I'm trying to figure out which Pro Controller I want to get. You're always going to have those people out there who say a product sucks. But at the same time, if you have evidence saying that it sucks because it's broke or it doesn't work properly or whatever, that's understandable. I can believe that. But if somebody's just like, yeah, I don't like the Pro Controller, you know, it sucks, it's just not for me, you know, then that's hard to believe. You know, you're just like, oh, you're just being a bitch. You gotta, you know, dog on something that's not necessarily perfect, but whatever. So I don't know. If you guys could please help me out. Like I said, I'm either going to buy a Pro Controller or make my controller into a Pro Controller. But even making my controller into a Pro Controller, the whole trigger thing, like the trigger stoppers and stuff like that go on your triggers, I'm just not cool with those. They look real bulky looking. It makes the controller look ugly. Now the Dominator pack, the FPS pack, the paddles in the back and everything, that's cool. I could see myself buying that for sure. As a matter of fact, I can see myself, you know, buying 2 of them, because I already have the standard DualShock 4, which is the gold DualShock 4 controller, which I love. I had red Control Freaks on it, which were really awesome, but I had the concave ones, I think. Yeah, concave, where they go down like that, you know, instead of domed. I had the concave ones, and they were like really high. I played with them for a while, and then I finally took them off because I didn't like how high they were, and I didn't like the concave. So when I get new Control Freak sticks, I'm going to be getting the ones that they sit on top of the clip. I guess they're medium range, you know, and they're domed. I want the domed ones. But yeah, so like I said, I don't know what to do. I'm hoping, you know, I don't have like subscribers or anything, so I don't expect like a whole lot of people to comment on here, if anybody. But it would be great if I could get some help, because like I said, I don't know if I want to spend almost $200+ on getting a Pro Controller and then it break 3 months down the road when I've had a DualShock 4 forever and it's worked fine. You know, it's great. So I'm at a crossroads and I could really use some help. So if anybody has any of these products who have had them for over 6-7 months and are still using them and they like them, you know, let me know what you think about the controller. Even if you're not sponsored by Scuf and you have a Scuf controller, I want an honest opinion about that too. Because, I mean, yeah, the Scufs are really expensive, but they're badass as far as the way they look. Now, the way they perform, I don't know, because I've never used a Scuf. But there's a lot of people on YouTube saying that those things suck ass. And it's like, well, if they suck ass, why are they fucking still making them? Why are people still buying them at this ridiculous price range? And that goes with any of the PlayStation Pro controllers. The Xbox One Elite controller, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. $150 for something that doesn't have any problems and it's designed by that company and it looks badass. Yeah, I'd get that in a heartbeat. If PlayStation tomorrow announced that, hey, we have our own signature PlayStation 4 Pro controller, I'd buy that shit. I would stop looking online for all these other manufacturers. I would buy the Sony-made PlayStation controller because they know what the fuck they're doing. These other guys don't really, you know. They do to a certain extent, but like I said, I've been seeing a lot of people saying that all these Pro controllers are shit. So leave your opinions in the comments below, please. I will be checking on them daily because Call of Duty World War II comes out on November the 3rd, and I want it before then. And that's a whole nother situation. You go on YouTube, people are hating on that game. They are absolutely hating on Call of Duty. Just about everybody, too. Call of Duty sucks, and it's the people who played the beta, you know. Like, you know, the beta is the game. You know, they always say that, you know, that they released the beta so you can test it out and they tweak things and stuff. That might be the case, but, you know, I played the Infinite Warfare beta and it was the same as the game. You know, they didn't fix a whole lot of things. And I bought Infinite Warfare too, even though people said it was shit, and I got rid of it within, like, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months, whenever I got bored with it. I'm hoping that I'm not going to get extremely bored with World War II, because I am a Call of Duty guy. I love Call of Duty games. I just hope that this one doesn't disappoint me. But I'm going to go ahead and set myself up for disappointment, because I'd rather head into something thinking that it's not going to work rather than head into something thinking it's going to work and then it doesn't. You know, it's like, no, that's not going to work. So set yourself up for disappointment. That way when you don't get disappointed, it's like, you know, that's awesome. I'm not disappointed. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic, Call of Duty World War II. But like I said, leave your comments. That'd be great. Help me out. Figure out what kind of Pro Controller I want. Deuces.